The first strategy I learned in investing is known as buy and hold. This strategy is designed for investors who are looking to buy something today that their future selves can thank them for. Much like riding a roller coaster, the buy and hold experience can seem manageable from the outside looking in. You just buy a ticket and hold on for the ride. You step right up and sit down and fasten your seatbelt. Sounds simple enough, right? Well, you see, the thing about roller coasters that I'm not a fan of has nothing to do with getting on the ride. The ride up is often slow and steady, easy to handle and enjoyable. It's the feeling you get in your stomach when you get yanked down to the bottom, whipped around and around while you're holding on for dear life, ultimately to be taken right back to the very position you started in. Buy and hold investors have very strong stomachs. They are less affected by the short-term fluctuations in the stock market. The buy and hold strategy is meant to be more like an escalator ride, where you get off at a much higher level than where you got on. If you find yourself back where you started, you either lacked patience, chose a terrible company to invest in, or missed your opportunity to become a seller in the market. Let's look at the company Zoom. We all know how important companies like Zoom have become in today's economy. Nearly every business uses technology for virtual meetings and long-distance video conferences. Zoom was listed on the stock market on April 18, 2019 for $36 per share. When the pandemic hit the U.S. in 2020, the stock price rose to $478.36 by November 30th, 2020. Nearly 4 years later, the stock price has dropped to $79.82 at the time of this video, November 2024. Now let me ask you, would you have sold the stock? Do you believe Zoom Technologies will rise again to $478.36 or higher? Do you have the patience to hold on and see? At the end of the day, if you bought the stock when it was first listed and held on to it this whole time, you would still have doubled your money. But what about those who bought their shares when it was $200 or $300 or $400 in 2020? Did they make a foolish investment, or should they continue to hold on to their investment until they recover their money? The buy and hold strategy is commonly seen as a 5 to 10 year plan at a minimum. If I needed my money in the next 5 years, this may not be the best strategy for me to employ. What many investors don't tell you is that holding individual stocks for a long time, it comes with its downsides as well. Whenever you buy a stock, you should have an exit strategy in mind on day one, and then you want to stick to your plan. Buy and hold investors tend to look for companies with strong management teams, revenue and profit potential. And even still, just because a company is making headlines doesn't mean you should invest in it for the long term. Seasoned investors anticipate a market crash every year between August and October, and many companies take profit from the increase in share prices. At the end of the day, you are investing in a company because they need to use the money to scale